My mom is a hysterical Greek lady, and my dad thinks that Rush Limbaugh makes some interesting points. So they don't get invited to stuff. So congratulations, parents. I feel like I should preface my set with saying, I'm a nice girl, I taught preschool, and I was only stoned on pot brownies once. So, I don't hate every hipster. Some hipsters are my closest friends, but there's a subsect that I can't stand. And I just want to pop their heads off like a daisy. I just want to feel their neck spatter on my face. And they're the ones that describe themselves as music nerds, but don't play an instrument. Because they always try to be pretentious to me. And I played music my whole life, but I'm not a cool person. I don't like hip stuff. Like, I can't enjoy something until everyone involved is dead. Like, I need to have my taste in music proved right by history. And so they're always trying to introduce me to, like, cool new bands and stuff. And they can never be, like, cool about it. They can never be like, oh, based on your previous stated interests, here are some recommendations. They always have to be like, have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard of Henry and the Barnacles? And I'm like, no. And the next fucking day, it'll be like, have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard of Hitler's fingers? I'm like, no, you're not getting it. If it's not in a karaoke binder, I've never heard of it. Okay, I don't care. I don't care. All I listen to is Motown, Bob Dylan, and ABBA. And that pretty much covers off the entire human experience. So that is all I need. But they always try to be like snobby to me. And so I'll be like, listen, you didn't go to piano lessons with Miss Eggebeg. And Miss Eggebeg's toe fungus. And you didn't have to watch in horror as she went, now Diana, just press the damper pedal. Just like this. And it didn't take everything in your 6-year-old self not to go, fungus! 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 And you didn't have to go to Christmas concerts wearing an itchy wool band vest from, like, the war. And wearing platform clogs that your mother bought you, made from tires from Malaysia. That left skid marks along the hallways. So everyone could track which kids were poor. You don't get to be pretentious to me. You haven't earned it. I went to band camp, motherfucker. You can't read sheet music. I'm going to illustrate to you what it's like to be a band nerd. The story I've never told on stage before, because what better time than when the stakes are highest, right? When I was in high school, I played trumpet, which meant that I sat in the back of the orchestra with all the dudes. And so sometimes the conductor would address a different section of the orchestra, say the clarinets, and I would sit there being bored thinking, well, why should someone else get attention? That's stupid. So I would just mime jerking off. So I just mime jerking off. And then I'd look to the guy next to me and I'd go, pass it on. pass it on. And bygones be bygones, and so on, and they'd keep passing it on. And so by the end, there'd be like a tiny girl with freckles just doing a piccolo solo, and there'd be 40 teenagers just going, and to me, the most entertaining part was in this like throbbing organism of kids just wailing on themselves. There'd be 10 that were perfectly still. Because appearing to jerk off in rehearsal was against their principles. And I'd be like, come on, do it. Do it. Come on, do it. It's funny. And it's like, no, I'm trying to get into the guild! And that would be when the conductor would notice, and then he'd go, okay, what is going on? Speaking of masturbation, sorry parents. Speaking of masturbation, which for those keeping score is an A+ segue. Sometimes it's funny to be a woman because of the near constant threat of sexual violence. But, silver lining, the whole world wants you to masturbate. All the time. There's a whole industry that makes little droids in a rainbow of colors so that you can get off at the fitting rooms in winters. Nobody is building machines to make it easier for men to jack off in public. That is exclusively a female privilege. But when you're a woman, masturbating is so cool that if your friend asks you if you have a vibrator and you say no, she'll be like, oh, honey. Put on a dress. We're going to the store. And I'm a feminist, so every time I masturbate, it's a political statement. I am masturbating for centuries of dead, unsatisfied women. Every time I masturbate, the ghost of Nellie McClung throws her bonnet in the air. It's so cool to masturbate as a woman that I told people I masturbated long before I actually started masturbating. To be fair, I thought that what I was doing was masturbating. But I was really just watching the Red Shoe Diaries and brushing cookie crumbs off my crotch. And now that I've shared that with you, I feel I should tell you my name is Diana Bailey, and you should circle my name for something. This is my